أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentions in verse 125 of Surah Al-Nahl, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah. Call to the path of your Lord, of your Rabb, with hikmat, with wisdom. Wal maw'izati al-hasana, and with good teachings. In such teachings which will actually penetrate into the heart of those people that you are teaching, that you are preaching, that you are conveying the message of Allah to. That is what you call good teachings. The right approach, the right manner, the right wordings, the right time. All these need to be taken into consideration when we do tabligh, when we are conveying the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we are teaching, when we are preaching. وَجَادِلُهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, and debate with them in a manner that is the best. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ. Indeed, your Lord knows best who strays from his path. وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ, and he knows best who the right and guided ones are. A wise preacher, a wise teacher, a wise scholar, a wise muballigh, a wise mudarris should also and always present the deen as a simple procedure. Present deen in such a manner is easy for people to act upon. Don't present in such a manner the deen some people find very difficult, hard. Oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Present it in a very simplified manner. So it makes it easy for them to act upon. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the hadith, Yassiru wa la tu'assiru. Yassiru wa la tu'assiru. Make it easy for people, don't make it difficult for people. लोगों के लिए आसानी बनाओ, लोगों के लिए दुश्मन और तकलीफ मत बनाओ. Make deen easier for people to follow. And the purpose of this is so that people do not get distant from the deen. They find it too difficult, hard, forget deen is not for me. That's for the buzuks, that's for the Maulanas, that's for the shuyukh, not for me. Deen is for everyone. Deen is for everyone. So you have to present it in such a manner as it's simplified so people don't get put off and they don't go distant from the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Prophet mentions, adopt an easy approach. Do not adopt a difficult approach. Sometimes people think deen is going to be hard. So they present it hard and difficult. Hard. They think deen is got to be hard, so they present it hard. They have no other easy options. When there's so many easy options. Deen is not to be doom and gloom. Look at deen as something good. It's doom, gloom. You shouldn't be happy. You shouldn't be smiling. That's why Prophet mentioned, Bashiru wa la tunaffiru. Convey glad tidings. Do not cause resentment. What does that mean, convey glad tidings? Give good news to people, not always bad news all the time. Bashiru wa la tunaffiru. Khushkhabri dilao, nafrat mat dilao. Some people always give bad news, all the time bad news, all the time bad news. What are we about? Something, my blood pressure is going high, my stress is going high. Because we think deen is all about bad. What the Prophet is saying, convey glad tidings, good news. Khushkhabri dilao. Meaning congratulate people, mashallah, well done. I come to give you the good news. I come to give you the good news. And when you hear good news from someone's done well, अच्छा किया, दुआ करो उनके लिए, make dua for them. Sometimes people don't like to give good news because badnazri. Oh damn, why is he happy for? Why is he so successful for? What's going on here? And it doesn't even bring a smile on our face. It doesn't even bring Alhamdulillah on our thingy on our zaban. Alhamdulillah, so happy. May Allah bless. That was the state of the kuffar when the Muslims will go through favorable conditions. That was the state of the kuffar. That they'll find it difficult to digest it, so they won't even smile. They look for small faults in that as well. Allah mentions, "In tamsaskum hasanatun tasuhum." Allah mentions regarding the believers, that when something good reaches you, tasuhum unko bura lagta hai. They don't like it. Allah is here explaining the attribute and the habits of the kuffar and the mushrikeen. If the Muslims have a good time, they're going through favorable conditions, they're having the upper hand, they become victorious. Subhanallah, what does Allah say? Unko bura lagta hai. They don't like it. Now we as believers are the same thing. Good news and we don't like it. Oh, what's he getting so happy for? Oh yeah, oh yeah. He said, this is what people say. It's not a good thing. Any believer, any mu'min is going through favorable conditions, going through a good time, mashallah, has won something, has got something good, anything. It could be anything. Be happy for them. A believer's response should be immediate happiness. Believer's response should be immediate dua. Believer dua, may Allah grant you more success. Mashallah, your son become Hafiz al-Qur'an, mashallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Become alim al-din, alhamdulillah. Oh, your child has got a degree? MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah. Maybe more tarakki. Because one mu'min, one believer, their success is the success of all the believers. One believer is successful no matter what line, what field. That's success for the whole of believers. Because Prophet ﷺ made us into one ummah. If some believer is in distress, worry, concern, difficulty, pain, it should impact all the believers of the dunya. Okay, but he's in pain, I'm in pain. And if they're going through happiness, we should feel very happy. MashaAllah, I'm so happy. Sometimes they're doing something that I couldn't do, or we couldn't do. MashaAllah, they've done a farz kifaya on our behalf. Subhanallah, MashaAllah. Because of that work, how many people are benefiting? Because of that, how many people's iman have been protected? MashaAllah, subhanallah. I couldn't do anything, but I will do it with Allah. This is what has been mentioned here. Allah Akbar. So, on one hand, yes. On one hand, I could also mention regarding sometimes bad news. Bad news can be in many ways. One is sometimes someone is ill, could be bimar hai. Any way, any level of ill. People say, oh, don't tell anyone. Why? Request someone to make dua, because who knows whose dua will be accepted at that particular moment and that person's illness, and he could get shifa immediately. That is a right of that ill person that we get dua done at least. Bimar, if you don't want to mention the specific actual illness, it doesn't matter by this person is ill, make dua for him, inshallah. By this person is ill, make dua for him. Some people don't like to tell anyone anything. Why? If you don't want to tell anyone, the dua kaun karega? If you don't tell anyone, who's going to make dua? When Prophet ﷺ found out that someone was ill, he would visit them. Now, if being ill was bad and you don't want anyone to know, then why wasn't going to visit them for? Why would you visit for? You don't tell anyone. किसी को बता भी नहीं, तो आप सब क्यों जाते थे लोगों की बीमार पुरसी के लिए फिर बता रहे थे. And then immediately when you went to meet someone who was ill, to make this dua for them, La ba'sa tahurun insha'Allah, La ba'sa tahurun insha'Allah, Allahumma shfi, Allahumma afi. Don't worry, everything will be good, Allah will give you shifa. What a beautiful dua. Don't worry, everything will be good. It gives comfort, these words give comfort to people. Because every time we utter our mouths and tongues, it causes taklif to people. Prophet ﷺ wants that every time we open our mouths, it causes comfort to people, soothing to people, sometimes psychologically as well. It can make someone better as well. Those words can. That's why when someone is ill and you go to visit that person, 70,000 angels make dua for that person who's going to visit that person who is ill. 70,000 angels make dua. So small thing. यानी अगर मैं किसी की इयादत के लिए गया, कोई बीमार है, तो 70,000 फरिश्ते मेरे लिए दुआ करते हैं. सुभान अल्लाह. Aren't we muhtaj of dua? Dua is a weapon of a believer. Allah loves people who make dua. Allah loves the people who do dua. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. Allah mentions, when my banda asks from me, I am very close to him. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, I am very close to him. And then Allah mentions, أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I respond to the call of the caller. I respond to the dua of that person who's making dua. So make dua, request for dua. If you're ill, by someone is ill, my brother is ill, my sister is ill, my family, please make dua, inshallah. Good. Alhamdulillah. Because that is the right, that is the haqq. That is the, because everyone gets ill. It's not a new thing. Nowadays people at the age of 20 get severely ill. But make dua, because we don't know who's that individual could be so close to Allah that he could be mustajab da'wat, that whenever he raises his hands, Allah will accept his dua. Why are you depriving him that dua? Sometimes medicine doesn't work, but the dua works. The medicine is there, but dua is also important. Dua and dawa. Dua and dawa. Dua and dawa. That the zahiri asbab, okay, is obviously the dua and the dawa and the medication, but the real cure for that illness is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why the Prophet makes this dua, Allahumma shfih, Allahumma afi. Allah grant him shifa, Allah grant her shifa, grant her cure, grant her afiyat. Let's not deprive our people who are ill, of this haqq of theirs, of their right of theirs, of dua. Who knows whose dua is accepted? We don't know. Thousands of people come here, thousands of people. We don't know the person, the maqam of a person in the eyes of Allah Ta'ala. Outwardly may think, oh, ye to aise hoga. But inside, who knows his connection, heart connected to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? We don't know anyone. We can't be judgmental. Always, let's not deprive anyone. Right? And don't worry, Allah will make you better, inshallah. Allah will make you better. Whenever you hear about someone ill, go to visit them. This is the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Visit. In the hadith it says, mu'min ka haqq hai. This is the right of a believer, that when he is ill, you go and visit them. When the janazah takes place, you participate in the janazah. That is the right, that is the haqq of a believer. It all comes under ikram al-muslimin. And if we do ikram al-muslimin, they will ikram al-muslimin. Looking after one another. So convey glad tidings as well when we convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't just always talk about Jahannam. Don't always talk about the bad deeds. Don't always talk about all the punishment. By both ways. Talk about those good deeds, the reward for the good deeds which Allah ta'ala has mashallah promised to us as well, etc. Sometimes what happens, many people have the desire to express the truth, right? Want to speak the truth, but they don't choose the right moment. We talk about conveying the true message with hikmah, with wisdom, with good teachings. Sometimes we don't choose the right moment, okay? And sometimes we don't choose the right words. And sometimes those people, they think they've done a good deed, but in actual fact, what happens, it causes more problems. And that person gets even more stubborn. Now I'm not going to listen to him at all. How dare he address me like that? Beginning? That's why Allah mentions in the Quran, وَقُولُ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا, narmi se baat kare. Softly. Convey the message of Allah softly, with passion. Obviously, the truth has to be voiced. The truth has to be conveyed. Okay? But it should be done in a gentle manner. Sometimes it needs to be a bit head on as well. It needs to be quiet when it's going so much and no one's listening. It has to be head on. Okay. But choose the right time. Don't keep on giving the sit all the time. Sometimes people have a habit of giving the sit all the time. Every day give the sit. Then what, people get bored. There's a hadith in Bukhari. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala is to address people every Thursday. Every Thursday he is to address people. Yeah? That's why the Tablighi Jamaat people, they have Ijtima every Thursday night, Shabi Jummah. Then Mas'ud is to address the people on Thursday. SubhanAllah. And when the people express that, give us the nasihat every day. There was not just for Thursday, give us the nasihat, bayan, taqreer, speech, every day. Then Abdullah Mas'ud radiallahu anhu replied by saying, I do not address you every day because of the fear of you get bored, you get put off. So I rather address you when there's some sort of interest, some sort of talab. When you're showing interest at a particular time, I'd rather give the bayan then. Just as Prophet ﷺ would address us according to the occasion, so that we do not get all put off and get weary and get lazy and this and that. That's why, when you have programs of bayans as well, it's very important that when you organize the bayans, space them out a little as well. You have one bayan this week, then another this week, then another this week, then another. People get put off after that, then they won't come. Then the importance of those words, subhanAllah, unfortunately, will not be taken into consideration. So you space them out, 1 month, monthly, 5 weeks, that way. Obviously, if there's an emergency, then it's a different issue. Also, when it comes to tabligh and conveying the message of Allah and His deen, one of the demands of hikmah and wisdom is that people should not be told such things that they cannot understand. Okay, if it's above the head, if it's a bit too academic, okay, normal people come. Now you're talking academic, it's for university, it's for Darul level, it's for ulama level, it's for professionals. Then that is not the gathering they should be talking on that level, because they know where to understand. If they don't understand, they might take the wrong meaning. If they take the wrong meaning, they might think this means something else in deen, and it could lead them astray. That's why you have special majlis for ulama, special gathering. So people should not get all put off, oh, why is all this special gathering for? There's nothing wrong in that. You have teachers training. Who's it for? Not for, it's for teachers training, because it's related to their profession. The harm, the thing, whatever, that's for them. And we should be accepted. So similarly here as well. Or sometimes a certain masla which need to be mentioned, but it's going to cause more fitna. And they don't that's not that important. And sometimes what happens, you give them a finger, they take the whole arm. You understand? So but no need to mention that masla, otherwise they'll take it to another level. So a lot of ulama and scholars will say, well, okay, don't need to mention that in the public, because it's not required at the moment. That's not too much related to the aqidah, the belief, or halal or haram. Anyway. That's why Hazrat Ali used to say, inform people what they can comprehend. كَلِّمُ النَّاسَ بِقَدْرِ عُقُولِهِمْ. Speak that language, those words, according to the level of the intellect. If you've got people who are just normal people, they're not professionals, they're not very intellectual people, then you speak their language. Yes, in a professional environment, you've got people more professionals and more intellectuals, then you speak according to their language. Otherwise, you sit on the mimbar and speaking very, very high English, and normal people don't even understand it. They go, what's the... Everyone go to sleep. Because the whole purpose is not to speak and show how great our vocabulary is. The most important purpose is to make sure they understand the words of deen. They understand what's being said, so they can do amal upon it. It's not to show who speaks the best, who's a great speaker. That's not the issue here. But may Allah tabarak wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to act upon what has been said. I know everyone's tired, looks a bit tired here and there, especially when it comes to English, unfortunately, right? But we need to learn. It's very sad. On one hand, we've got fikr of concern for the youth, but when you have in English, the youth are not interested. We have discussions on this regularly, and I'm really thinking to myself, what's going to happen if they're not in this sort of gathering where ilm of Qur'an and hadith is being distributed? Then how are they going to get the understanding of deen? Then they got it on YouTube, then they got it on Google, then they got it on other people, not from the right source. And then we're going to start complaining why my son's left Islam and deen. Well, we don't sit ourselves as elders. And then how is our children going to sit? This is time of fikr for concern for the iman and our own iman. It's been now how many years since Dars Quran? We started in 1999, many years ago. 25 years now it's been done. 25 years. Just think if everyone sat in the Dars for 25 years, you'll be half alim by now. 25 years of knowledge in ilm, min al-mahdi al-lahad, cradle to the grave. Who knows how long I got left? Probably won't even finish it. But we need to understand and appreciate. We have to fikr in the concern. If they're not ready to understand it and sit in the English, then what's going to happen? It's not all about just celebrity, not about someone who, give you a roller coaster ride in his bayans, can be all emotional. It's good from time to time, use that jazba, it's a good thing. But remember, Islam is not just about one odd day. It's a 24-hour way of life. And we get taught the practicalities of life in Qur'an and Hadith. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Inshallah, many other things that have been mentioned, inshallah we'll continue with the subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah wa bihamdihi.